Hello everyone, myself Swati, faculty in statistics. So welcome to the lecture Unit 3 Acceptance Sampling Plans. In this lecture, we discuss the types of acceptance sampling plans and the implementation of the acceptance sampling plan. So there are several types of acceptance sampling plans based on different approaches that can influence the decision about a lot. These are categorized as follows. First one is acceptance sampling plans for attributes and second one is acceptance sampling plan for variables. So first you have to discuss acceptance sampling plans for attributes. So acceptance sampling plans in which actual measurements of the quality characteristics are not made, but the units or items are categorized as defective or non-defective on the basis of go-no-go gauges. So those are called acceptance sampling plans for attributes. Again, these plans are of two types. First one is lot by lot acceptance sampling plans for attributes and the second one is continuous production acceptance sampling for plan for attributes. So first we have to discuss lot by lot acceptance sampling plans for attributes. So lot by lot acceptance sampling plans for attributes are the most commonly used sampling plans and therefore those are simply called acceptance sampling plans for attributes. Such plans are used whenever the units to be inspected can be conveniently grouped into batches or lots. In lot by lot acceptance sampling plan for attributes, generally we use the following plans. So the first plan is a single sampling plan. So in the single sampling plan, the decision about the acceptance or rejection of a lot is based on a single sample that has been inspected. So this is the simplest type of sampling plan. And the second sampling plan is double sampling plan. So in this, the decision about the acceptance or rejection of a lot requires the evidence of two samples drawn from the lot. If the lot quality is good or bad, the lot is accepted or rejected on the basis of the first sample. If the first sample shows an intermediate quality, the decision about the lot is taken on the evidence of the first and second sample combined. So this is more complicated than the single sampling plan. Coming to the third sampling plan, that is multiple sampling plans. So a multiple sampling plan, this is an extension of the double sampling plan. So this sampling plan may require more than two samples to reach a decision about the acceptance or rejection of a lot. Fourth one is sequential sampling plans. In this, the sample size is not prefixed as in the case of single, double and multiple sampling plans. The units or items are drawn from the lot one at a time and inspected. The decision about accepting or rejecting of the lot or continuing with the inspection by taking one more unit from the lot. So this is made on the basis of the information available up to that stage. Second one is continuous production acceptance sampling plans for attributes. So these plans are used when the units or items to be inspected cannot be grouped into lots or batches. Many manufacturing operations do not create lots because in these operations, the units are produced in a continuous process on a conveyor belt or other straight line systems. Acceptance sampling plans for variables. The acceptance sampling plans in which actual measurements of the quality characteristics are taken. So those are called acceptance sampling plans for variables. Continuous production acceptance sampling plan for attributes and acceptance sampling plans for variables. So these two are beyond the scope of your syllabus. Now, implementation of acceptance sampling plan for attributes. Suppose the lots of the same size. So, the size can be denoted by capital N. So, those are received from the supplier or the final assembly line and submitted for inspection one at a time. The procedure for implementing the acceptance sampling plan to arrive at a decision about the lot is described in the following steps. And the first step is we draw a random sample of size small n from the lot received from the supplier or the final assembly. In the second step too, we inspect each and every unit of the sample and classify it as defective or non-defective on the basis of certain criteria. At the end of the inspection, we count the number of defective units found in the sample. In the step 3, we compare the number of defective units found in the sample with the acceptance criteria. In the step 4, if the acceptance criteria are satisfied, we accept the entire lot, otherwise we reject the entire lot. The steps described above are shown in this flowchart. So, draw a random sample of size small n from the lot of size capital N received from the supplier or the final assembly. And so, based on this random sample, you have to inspect each and every unit of the sample and count the number of defective units in it. So, and next one is compare the number of defective units found in the sample with the acceptance criteria. If the condition is satisfied and if the condition is not satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, we have to accept the lot. If the condition are not satisfied, we have to reject the lot. Let us explain these steps further with the help of an example. Suppose a buyer of cricket balls wants to inspect a sample of 20 balls from each lot to check their quality. The acceptance criteria is that if the sample contains at most one defective ball, the lot would be accepted. Otherwise, it would be rejected. The buyer draws 20 balls from each lot and inspects each and every ball of the sample and classifies each ball as defective or non-defective on the basis of certain defects. At the end of inspection, counts the number of defective balls found in the sample and compares the number of defective balls with the acceptance criterion. If the number of defective balls in the sample is more than 1, we have to reject the lot. If the number of defective balls is 0 or 1, we have to accept the lot. Thank you.